Hey lovelies, I wanted to show you a fun kind of bronzy gold metallic look today, and I already have my skin makeup on, I have my cheeks, I have my lips, and all we are going to do are my eyes. So let's get started. First, I have primed my eyes with my brightening highlight. I used White Peach today, and that's just to kind of anchor things, to cover any veins, discolorations, and to kind of prime your eyes to give your color something to stick to. And when you have that base on, then it helps your eyeshadows to pop and be more saturated. So I'm going to start with Pup, and I am just going to kind of anchor that cream highlight that I used, and I am just going to put this powder shadow all over my eye. It's really close to my skin color, and so it doesn't distract, it just kind of anchors everything. So I'm using my eyeshadow brush, the big fluffy end. I use it every single day. And let's see, let's go ahead and get started with our crease. And we're going to start kind of light. I like to start light and kind of build color. So I'm going to go into Bubba, which is a wonderful, wonderful kind of neutral terracotta, like tan color. And I am just going to concentrate it in my base. I'm kind of doing windshield wiper back and forth, but I'm also, as you can see, going over areas to soften them and make sure that they're nice and blurred and soft, and no harsh lines, just kind of building the color and working that across my entire crease, which is between my upper brow bone area and my eyelid. And I'm keeping that color there, and then kind of swirling it up just a little. That way it'll be in my crease to add some dimension, but it'll also work into being a transition color. And want to keep it symmetrical on both eyes, so I'm trying to do the same thing. And just starting that color at the crease and then kind of just building it upward, not completely to my eyebrow, but up higher in that area between the crease and between the brow. And that'll be a nice transition between the highlight that'll go under my brow and the deeper color that we'll add into the crease. Okay. And let's see, let's go ahead and add some bird, and that's that nice, pretty, warm brown color. And I use it with a couple other browns for my brows. And I'll work that in to the outer half of my crease just to kind of deepen that down there. But I go really light because it's very pigmented and it builds up and darkens very, very quickly, so you have to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and smooth that out at the top with more of that Bubba that we started with. Our lighter terracotta brown transition color, and just kind of soften that edge where those two meet. So I have a gradient of color. I have the darker in my crease and then this transition color above it. And then we'll highlight the area right under my brow. And then we are going to go into some colors that you wouldn't necessarily think to put together at all. But this is Finn, F-I-N-N, and it's kind of like a antique gold with a touch of like a khaki green, and it's a nice greenish gold metallic, and we're going to put this across the entire lid. And it's kind of a dark color, as you can see. If you have the Naked palette, it is very, very, very similar. A great dupe for Dark Horse. And we'll put it on both sides. The nice thing, if you look at the ounces that are in the Urban Decay palette or the Urban Decay shadows, there is twice as much in the depth of R10s, and so you're getting twice as much product for less money, because our colors are $12 each at the time of this video, and I think the Urban Decay shadows are $18 a piece. Less in the palette, but you get a lot less ounces, a lot less product in your palette. Okay, and then the next color, so this is dark and dramatic. You could go with that. You could put some eyeliner, mascara, and go with this. But we're going to use another color that, like I said, you wouldn't think of these two going together. This one's called Gigi. And Gigi is kind of like a taupe, like an icy taupe with maybe a hint of lavender in it. It's a really hard color to describe, but that would be the best way to say it, like an icy taupe with a little lavender to it. And we are going to put that over the top. And it is another dark color in itself, but when you put it over this Finn color, then it lightens it up and turns the Finn, instead of a deep greenish gold, it turns it into more of a smoky taupe color. Okay, super pretty color. Again, if you have the Naked palette, the Naked 2 palette, I believe this is a awesome dupe, in my opinion, for YDK, which is a beautiful color. So, so just a really pretty, frosty, shimmery taupe. And then we're going in with Philly, this nice, pretty, warm brown. And I'm going to take the other end of my eyeshadow brush that I've been using, the big fluffy. I'm going to use the pencil brush end, and that's going to be denser. It's going to pack on more concentration of color. And I'm going to take that Philly and put it just in this outer corner, just to kind of deepen that color a little bit. And it gives us a little bit of a shot of warmth out there. And then I'm going to take that Bubba color, that terracotta, that light, nice terracotta. And when I say terracotta, it's not super duper terracotta. Like, my lips are sandstone color in Seint, and those are like a true bright terracotta. But Bubba is just like a light version. It's a nice It's not so much terracotta where it's like so orange that it definitely takes you in that direction. It is neutral enough that you could go and pair it with many different colors and you could take it a lot of different directions. And so I put Bubba along my entire lower lash line. You don't have to go all the way across. And I'm still doing it with this pencil brush end of my eyeshadow brush. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go back into Philly. And I'm gonna take it on the outside, probably outside quarter, maybe to third, and smush it in to halfway in on my lower lash line. I just want that outside third or so to be darkened, and then I just pull the color inward to kind of merge those together and to kind of blur the line where you can't really tell where it gets dark and where it meets. And then let's go a little darker. Let's go into Trust, and that's more of a chocolate brown. And let's take that along the upper lash line. Now I'm trying to stay close to that upper lash line, but it's still going to be kind of wide because I'm using this. If I wanted a tight, thin line, then I would use our line brush, and the short angled brush is the one I would use for that. And I'll take this Trust and work that into the outside, angling up just slightly. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of that color and I'm going to work it into the crease with the same end, so it's going to be at the base of this crease in just a little, just to kind of create a V shape with that Trust dark brown color. And that's going to add some more drama. You don't have to, but it definitely adds some depth of color. So make sure I have my bottom line the same depth of color with Trust. It's such a pretty chocolate brown, and then work it up into the V that goes into my crease. And well, that adds the drama. So you have to be careful. I got a little farther over on this side and I got a little higher. I wasn't as careful, and so you can see this eye is much darker and it has some more drama. So I could either go to this side and amp up the drama, or I could wipe the Trust off of my brush and go in with that Bubba, that lighter transition color, and see if we can tone down that dark color enough to make it work. I've said before, it's good to build your color slowly because it is far, far easier to build color than to try to work it out later. And I went a little quickly and got a little ahead of myself. So let's go ahead and deepen this with some more of that Bubba, just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of that Trust color and go ahead and work it in farther over here so that it matches. I could go in with a Q-tip and try to take away some of that color, but you end up having a lot more difficulty. It's just easier if it's going to look fine to just go ahead and match up the other side. I'll show you if I add a Q-tip, it'll lighten it some. You'll see it come off on your Q-tip, but not a great deal, and then you can mess up your blending. So, but I think we're good. I think we need to add a little more of the Bubba over here on the inside here to add a little more depth and a little more warmth to match up with the other side. Okay. All right, and then let's go into Sabrina, which is this nice, pretty light cream color. That is a new little tin, and so you can't really tell right there when I show it to you probably, but it's got a nice shimmer. I went in with this big one that's not nearly small enough. Let's go to the multitasker brush, the paddle end, and go in under the brow with that, because I don't like to make too deep of a highlight on my brow bone, because I don't want to waste all of that real estate where I have the gradient of color. Some people have a huge amount of room, but I don't, and so I like to make the most of what I have. And then I'll just kind of blend that in with that Bubba. So we added just a little bit of a highlight under there. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my line brush, the angled end. That's just going to give me a tighter line. I went into that Trust color, and I'm just going to, oops, very pigmented. So it just takes a tiny dab, and I'm just going to define and darken this area by my lower lash line on the inside, which really didn't get any of the darkness of color. And I'm just going to kind of work at it to kind of smoke it out a little and smudge it a little so that it's not too defined, too dark. And when I get fallout dust, I just sweep it away. Now I am probably going to go in, and first let's go in with a little more GG on my finger. That was this lavender taupe color, and let's add some more to that shimmer by using my finger, and that will bring out the shimmer even more. And I'm just going to do that in the middle of my eye where the light naturally hits it. And if you want to brighten that even more, we can go into a lighter color. Let's see, how about some Stardust, just to make it pop even more there in the center. And that really amps up the metallic look of it, but it's still a really smoky, metallic that doesn't change the look of the color, but just adds to it, just gives it a little extra something. And then let's go ahead and take that same Stardust and bring it into the inner corner here, just to add some of that gold. May have been a little dark, but that's okay. I can touch that up. If you've watched my other eyeshadow videos, when I'm about 95% of the way done with my eye look, I will go in and put on my mascara, because I use black mascara, and that is going to add some depth of color. And so it will tell me after I get it on if I need to darken up anything else or add some more color. It tends to, it can wash colors out, and so it'll give you closer to the final look so you can tell if there's anything you need to do. So as I said, I have sandstone on my lips. I put a little bit of cream gold illuminator. I'm using Dolce. I believe it is discontinued, but I think we have 3 or 4 different gold illuminators. The creams are a little more subtle, a little softer, and but you can definitely get pow out of them by putting them on a little heavier. But if you want total bling, then our powder illuminators give you more of that. And then I also used sandstone on my cheeks, and then on my eyebrows I used Basic and Bird. And sometimes if I feel like I need some more darkness to a part of them, I'll add in some Oak. I definitely need some more, in my opinion, some more dark eyeliner. So I'm going to go in with my line brush with the angled end, and I'm going to give it a second to let my mascara dry. But I'm going to go in with Salem, which is this nice black. It is not too dark. It is just right. Some blacks are so dark that it washes out your whole eye and it looks like you put magic marker on your eye. But this one gives you the black effect, but it is not so deep that it makes everything else look off. And as I'm dipping into it and getting the color on this line brush, then I'm kind of tapping, if you can hear, tapping my brush on the side of my compact. That way I get some of that fallout dust off and don't have to clean it on my under eye. And I'm just going in here and adding a little of that Salem where I added the Trust. Yeah, the Trust earlier. And to just add some darkness to that. I don't have to cover every spot of Trust, but I'm just kind of deepening it a little. And if you have lighter eyes, then you won't have to go as deep with your liner. And if you have a lot of natural pigment around your eyes, then you can get away with less. But I feel like my eyes are hazel, and sometimes depending on the lighting, depending on what I'm wearing and the room, they can look kind of dark. And so I just feel like I have to offset them sometimes with some dark colors just to make them pop or to help them pop. And then I'll just take the little dab that is on my brush and add it to this inside because I already have a lot of depth on the outside. So that is it, and I love that lid color. I love the whole look. I wear this look all the time. If you can see, I've got my cheetah on. I love cheetah print, and this kind of gold, deep golds and warm browns looks really, really great with cheetah colors. So you could totally go in if you wanted. Get my brush back, and I'll go back into Philly, that lighter brown that we started with, the really warm one here, and you could darken this outer crease up more if you want. Whoa, that took it took it really dark. So this is obviously for a more dramatic look. It looks great if you're going out to dinner or something, or if you're going out at night. You could wear this in the day, and I'm not gonna lie, I wear this in the day all the time. I don't go quite as dark in the crease, but that just takes you from a little bit to full on glam. You could add glitter to this, whatever you want. But those are the basics, and I love those two colors. So all of my makeup are Seint colors, and the GG with the fin. I just love the look that that gives. So hit the like button and follow us so that you don't miss any of our videos. I will continue to add these with all different makeup things and beauty things. And I like to use my Seint products because I love them. So if there's anything you want to see, go ahead and leave a comment and I'll get back with you. Or if there are other videos you want me to make, then let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.